Welcome to the St. Canard Files, a Darkwing Duck podcast. I'm your host, Will Santana, and...
I'm Stan Lunn, and we're back out of the vault once again.
Oh, we were in the vault again, Stan?
Seems that way. It's been a while.
Yeah, it sure has been a while, man. You been doing okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Stan, do you have any cons coming up that you're going to? You haven't been to a con in a while, have you?
I haven't, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it to the Vermont Sci-Fi Fantasy Con this time, because they had previously announced they're going to have the Munster coach there, as well as the guy that played Eddie Munster. And they just announced today the Impala from Supernatural is going to be there.
I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she was that girl that played in Harriet the Spy. She passed away recently.
Michelle Trachtenberg.
Trachtenberg, that's how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Were you a fan of any of her works?
Not particularly. Like, I haven't really started getting into Buffy the Vampire Slayer yet. I'm going to, so I'm probably going to be a fan of that.
I remember her from a movie called Euro Trip. It was like the European version of Road Trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really funny movie. She was hilarious in that movie. Who else passed away recently? I've been seeing a lot of stuff pop. Gene Hackman, right?
Yeah. Same day, practically.
Now with Gene Hackman, a lot of stuff pop up for me for Gene Hackman. What's the main thing that pops up for you with Gene?
Superman.
Lex Luthor. Oh my God. I don't know why I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's his biggest role, I think.
Oh my God. I don't know why. Oh my God. I'm really palm facing myself right now, man. Yeah. Who is there anyone else recently that passed away? There was a lot that kept popping up, man.
Oh yeah. There's been a lot of them. Recently, the person who provided the voice of Babu on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as well as the one that did the Today on Power Rangers thing, he passed away.
Stan, I don't know if you know the answer to this. I'm only asking you. I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but I know you're a huge Power Ranger fan. Is that White Dragon movie? Well, I don't know the full name of the movie. That's with JDF.
Legend of the White Dragon.
Yeah, has that came out yet?
Not yet. It will come out eventually.
Okay.
From what I understand, the picture has been locked in. And it's going to like audio corrections and whatnot now. It should release by the end of the year, I think.
Okay. So that's what y'all hoping for, the end of this year?
I hope so. And I really hope it's in theaters because it is Jason David Frank's final role. So I'd like to see it on the big screen, even though I know I'm going to be bawling like a baby through it.
Is there any other Power Rangers supposed to be in that movie?
I think so. I'm pretty sure Jason Font, who played the Red Time Force Ranger, is supposed to be in there.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know anything about Power Rangers, so I just concede to Stan and let him talk about Power Rangers.
Speaking of Power Rangers, recently Jim Cummings had Walter Jones, the original Black Ranger, on his show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did not really a full voice swap, but Jim did a few morphing calls as different characters. I think he did one as Pooh, Tigger, and of course as Darkwing.
Okay. Yeah, well, the last time he had a Power Ranger there was some drama, though.
Yeah.
Not Jim's fault.
The less said about that guy, the better.
Yeah. But the one thing, Jim didn't say it, though.
No.
Right? Yeah.
No, it was his guest that was saying it.
Okay. All right, so Stan, what's going on in Darkwing world right now, man?
Well, for one thing, the Kickstarter is starting to get shipped out to people. Although, as of yet, I haven't received an email for mine, and I'm assuming, Will, you haven't received one for yours either.
No, I haven't received the email for the tracking. I got an email saying that they were starting to ship them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I received that email, but I haven't received the email on my tracking yet.
Yeah, I imagine within the next couple weeks, so we'll both probably have a tracking email.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope they're not doing the alphabetical order because then I'm going to be way at the end.
Yeah, well, depends on what kind of alphabetical order. If they do it by first name, then I'll be towards the end too. If they do it by last name, I'll be somewhere in the middle.
Well, I'm screwed either way.
Yeah, that you are.
Yeah, especially if they go by first name. I'm really at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely screwed, man. Anything else going on in the Darkwing world?
Well, the first issue of Volume 2 of Darkwing Duck has been released, and I'm not going to give any spoilers other than to say it is the best Darkwing Duck comic that has been produced in the modern in the current era. I'll say
Okay,
not
okay, okay. So you're not counting it against Joe Books or the Boom
no,
series. Okay.
no. The Boom and Joe books still are better than this, I think. But of what Dynamite's done, this is the best. Certainly
Okay.
better than their first Darkwing Duck 1 through 10, better than Justice Ducks, and I even go as far as to say it's better than Negaduck, which is the pinnacle of the Dynamite stuff, but it's been dethroned,
I
much to Negi's upsetness.
I haven't read the Negaduck ones all the way through. I think I stopped at like 5 or 6.
Yeah,
They're not great, but they're not bad.
yeah.
I feel like it's doable, you know?
Yeah, like especially when you compare them to Darkwing 1 through 10 and Justice Ducks 1 through 5.
Oh, compared
No
to
doubt.
those, it's a gem. Compared
Yeah.
to those,
Like
it's a
you haven't
gem.
even gotten to Justice Ducks number 5 yet.
Yeah. Oh, but I think that Darkwing number 10 was the worst though.
Oh, yeah.
That was the worst, man. I thought number 1 was always the worst, and then when I got to number 10, I was like, nope, number 10 is now the worst, man. It was so bad.
Yeah. What little goodwill the comic had started to build, it completely destroyed with that issue.
All right, so Stan, enough of our chit chat. People want to hear what we're talking about today. What are we going to review today?
We're talking about Justice Ducks issue number 4. So we're almost done with Justice Ducks, folks. We got one more after this, and that series will be done.
All right, so Stan, you're a little aware of my rant that I'm going to do at the end, but
Oh, yes.
yeah, I got a little rant I got to talk about on this. It's not a big rant, uh, but I definitely have a rant. All right, so Stan, take us away on Justice Ducks number 4. Does this one have a title?
Uh, Hold on. Let me
I don't
flip through and
remember.
see.
I
I
don't
don't
remember seeing it.
think so, though, which is kind of par for the course for some of these. Although I feel like the last few Justice Ducks
Yeah, the
had
last few I remember having it, but this one I didn't see it. I'm scanning through right now, so I
yeah,
might miss
I
it.
don't see a title in here
Yeah, I don't see it either. All right, so we have no title.
again.
Yeah. All right, so we got same writer, same artist, and everything.
Yeah, same writer, same artist.
Okay, so we don't need to get into that. All right. So, is the title the name of that movie that they're watching? The
I don't
Abracadabra
think
Part
so.
7? No, I don't think so either. All right. All right, enough of looking for the title. Let me shut up. I'll go ahead and let you take it away, Stan. Go for it.
All right, so we start at a movie that Darkwing and crew have gone to see, Abracadabra Part 7, which, based on the poster, appears to be like Harry Potter and Doctor Who mashed up.
Yeah, I definitely thought the Harry Potter. I don't know anything about Doctor Who though.
Oh, I'm thinking Doctor Who because of the scarf.
Okay.
That was one of the big things for one of the doctors.
Hmm.
But we got a little bit of an addition to the crew. And
Yep.
aside from Drake, Morgana, Honker, and Gosalyn, they've been joined by somebody else, haven't they?
Yes. What was his name, Stan?
Helder.
Yep.
All right.
Keep going.
So Helder is a young movie. Morgana thought the magic was silly but fun. And of course, Honker's like, the egregious disregard for the laws of physics was, in the circumstances, an acceptable trade off for the adrenal rush.
All right, I'm
Well,
back,
that's
Stan.
Honker for you, right?
Hmm.
And they asked about Helder's opinion of it because Gosalyn hasn't known Helder long enough to know his opinion.
Hmm.
To which he responds, Helder loved it. Helder was unaware of this Zap Merlin individual, but will take a keen interest in his future career. Such skill, such charm, such large feet.
He does always refer to himself in third person.
Yep. So where do we
hmm
go from there?
Um, he tells him that he was aware, of course. Uh, the shit. Gosalyn had questioned him if he knew it was all made up. Yep, and then they go out to eat. Correct.
Seems to be at some sort of a dinerish place.
I never understood in comics why they do the diners like that, where they have the main people, but they're like their only table like in that area. All the other tables are so far away.
Yeah, I don't really get it either.
You think they do it so they're the main focus a little bit?
Probably.
Okay. But then DW or not DW, I'm sorry, Drake questions Helder about his accent.
And Morgana asks if he's been in St. Canard for very long.
And he responds in third person. He's like, "No, Helder has not been here for long."
And then Gosalyn elaborates that Helder transferred to the school recently and that she saw him in the playground reading a book about Nikola Tesla and knew that Honker and her were going to get along with him.
Yeah.
That he's almost as smart as Honker. And Honker's like, yes, I agree. And that's a pronouncement I would never make casually.
Is that Honker's only line in this comic?
No, he also says something in the first page.
Okay, but then is that it for him? I think
Yeah,
so.
that's
Oh,
it for him. He disappears after these 2 pages.
okay. All right. So then they offer to take him home in the car. Uh, but then didn't they say he lived very close or something? I think that's what happens here.
Helder claims he lives nearby and he'll make his own way home. Helder,
Yeah.
thank you for this afternoon's many kindnesses. Nice kid. Funny, but nice.
hmm And then of course Drake lays the rules to Gosalyn about knowing his true identity and all that kind of stuff, and she's like, "Yes, yeah, I know, Dad, I know."
Yep.
hmm And then we go on to later that night, Stan.
Yep. With a couple garbage men, picking up the trash, which is kind of weird. I always thought garbage trucks did that stuff in the morning.
hmm
Like, I don't know how the trash service is where you are, Will, but where I've lived, they always come early morning.
Mine does not come early morning. Mine comes like about 11 a.m. They're not at night though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
they hear a strange sound, and it's a couple people appearing.
yeah.
Bexx and Bryx.
Yeah, they kind of look like twins, but like a male and female twin type.
Yeah.
hmm
And there is a reason for that. They explain later.
Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, Stan. This is a little bit away from you reading, going page by page. But as soon as they popped up, I kind of sighed because I already saw where this was going. All
Yeah.
right, we'll talk about that later. No, I'm gonna let you keep going. Go ahead, Stan.
But they're tracking a target whose trail has gone cold again.
hmm
And
That's pretty obvious
what?
who they're tracking, right?
Yeah,
All right,
it is fairly obvious.
they tell them you hold still. They're telling the garbage man you hold still. They said I'm trying to run away, but my legs won't let me.
They're like, earthly clothing. We need to be inconspicuous if we're to complete our mission. So they offer to trade them some gemstones, which they call rocks, for the garbage men's high vis jackets that have raisins in the pockets.
Yeah, those gems though, they kind of look like diamonds and stuff, man.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and they said like we understand this trade is unequal, but and they're like, nah, let's do it, man. Let's do this trade.
Yeah.
hmm
Well, they're under the impression that the coats are worth more than the gemstones.
Yeah,
Probably wherever they're from, those are worthless, but I imagine on Earth they'd fetch a pretty penny.
yeah. And they thank him for the generous offer. They said the pleasure is all ours, and then he's like, you know what, Ollie, I might just go and buy some more raisins.
Yeah. So then they start tracking them. The two people start tracking who they're looking for. And they're like, "Will it involve eating raisins? They sound horrible. I think
hmm
we'd better avoid those. Look at the terrible effect they had on the cognitive functions of those two Earthlings."
Are you a raisin guy, Stan?
Not particularly.
I'm okay with raisins, but like I like the Raisin Bran cereal, but I don't like no raisins in my potato salad and stuff. That's too much, man. All right, go ahead, Stan. I'm sorry.
So
Sidetrack there for a second.
we cut to a few days later at the Mallard household, and Gosalyn bursts in. Gosalyn, you're not at school? Is everything okay? No, I played sick so I could get you. Remember my friend Helder? He's gone.
Yeah, Morgana's like, whatever do you mean?
He hasn't been at school for 2 whole days. I've tried calling and texting him, but he never answers. I think something might have happened to him.
Yeah, and then Drake is like, think he's a super computer type hacker guy, or like he has the laptop that he can get anything.
Yep, laptop's connected to the supercomputer in the secret lair, which in turn is hooked up to every database in the city.
Hmm. But he gets zapped though in this process, right?
Yep, which apparently is something that Helder set up.
Yeah, I guess he did something in the system to hide himself.
Yeah,
So that
like
means
Gosalyn
Helder.
reasons. What?
Yeah. No, I'm just reading what Gosalyn says. She said that means Helder is missing on purpose and that he doesn't want to be found, so he's probably okay. That's good news, right? Now, this
Yep,
part I thought was funny because Drake pulls out his supercomputer. It looks like a floppy disk, though.
it really does.
I thought that was hilarious, man.
Well, not the supercomputer.
Hmm.
That's not the one that looks like the
That's not
floppy.
it. That's his laptop. What is that?
Uh, that's his tablet.
Okay, yeah, that looks like a floppy disk.
Because even the panel right before he says, "Let me get my tablet and I'll try again."
Okay, so the tablet looks like the floppy disk.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Morgana, she's decided to call in the Justice Ducks to help.
Now this is where another part where I side at. I'll get into that standing in my little rant.
All right.
All right. So we
So the
got.
Justice Ducks have assembled. Morgana's telling them he's Gosalyn's friend, so we're going to fix this. And
Mhm.
of course, Neptunia chimes in with Stegmutt speaks for me, Launchpad, and Gizmoduck. We'll do what it takes. I was on top of this. I was totally on top of this. Rumble, rumble.
Yeah. And she shows them what Helder looks like a mini version of him.
Yeah, a projection of him, if you will.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
So
they
then.
decided to spread out. Launchpad hit the air. Morgana, check this isn't mystical. Stegmutt and Gizmoduck, the school. I'll take the waterfront. You'd be amazed what you can find out on the waterfront.
And then Darkwing tells them that he's going to search with Gosalyn.
Yeah, since
Yep.
Gosalyn knows him best.
Yep. And she says he likes computers and he likes books.
Yep.
All right. So then we can kind of, to me, this is kind of like a montage. You got LP in the air looking. You got Morgana doing psychic trades. You got Neptunia checking people on the waterfront, and then Gizmo Duck is like at a school with Stegmutt.
Yep. And they're like, did we say no fruit? Well, maybe a little Satsuma. Now, did you get that reference or no?
I didn't.
Satsuma is a type of mandarin orange.
Oh, okay.
So it's essentially a fruit.
Hmm.
Also, this panel, I think they messed up with the speech bubbles.
Hmm.
Do you know why?
No.
So Gizmo Duck is talking to the kids, and one of them's like, "Thanks, Gizmo Duck. You know Gosalyn, right?" And
Hmm.
Gizmo Duck replies with, "Gizmo Duck, don't be silly, little girl. My name is Butch. Now, is
Hmm.
it just me, or is the one that asked if he knew Gosalyn looked more like a boy than a girl?
Hmm.
Like there is one that looks like a girl there, but he wasn't the one that mentioned Gosalyn."
Yeah. All right. So we got Stegmutt now. He's like checking to see if they're suspicious, right?
Looking for suspicious people.
Hmm.
And he has found some suspicious people. The suspiciousest.
And what's funny, what gave it away that they were suspicious to him? That they didn't like
So
raisins.
exactly.
Yeah, I thought that was really awesome. He goes running back to Gizmo Duck. They're suspicious. They're the suspiciouses.
Yep.
All right, stands, and we got the Justice Ducks reassemble again, except for Darkwing.
Yeah. So
So
Gizmo Duck is saying they put a tracking device on them and observed and they've been in and out of the warehouse they're in all afternoon.
mhm. And then you got Neptunia saying, "I suppose we should check out what we have got with surveillance wise, right?" And
Yep.
Gizmo says, "Let's do the X-ray goggles," and Morgana says she'll project it on the wall with her magic.
Yep.
And they can see that they're looking for Helder. You can see the two photos of him with a map.
Yep.
And
And
LP, go ahead.
Neptunia starts going on about, well, I'm not sure we're better off. All we know is one place where he isn't. Stegmutt, are you sure you Stegmutt? Stegmutt, where are you?
Oh,
Well, he's smashing into the place.
yeah, but he's like, you give back Gosalyn's friend right now. And they
So
go, oh,
that's plans A, B, and C all obsolete. Terrific. What's this plan called? Plan Stegmutt. Just hit things, okay? Hit all the things.
he sure hit it all right. He looked mad too on the next page.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then they start asking, like, where's Helder? And they're like, Helder? And they said, do you mean Helios Delta? And they said, I
Yeah.
mean, the boy in the picture's genius. All right, go ahead, Stan.
So their employer wants them to get Helder very badly.
Mm-hmm.
And Neptunia speaks for all of us here. Are these guys aliens? Are we doing the aliens thing again? Why is it always aliens?
Oh, I got a question for that. I want that question answered too, Stan. Yep. And they say we're aliens, and she said, "Knew it." And then he tells a story about how they work for Zelda Griselda. Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Yep. And she's a space billionaire. She owns 3 sons. Yeah, so they were sent there to find the boy you call Helder and bring him to her.
Yep. So they question why, and LP's like, Darkwing could figure this out. I bet. Where's Darkwing?
Yeah, so then we get.
Which
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to say right now seems to be a little iffy that he'd say that. Like, I I think he'd say it, but I don't think he'd say Darkwing. I think he'd say DW can figure this out. I bet. Where's
Yeah,
DW?
I don't even remember the last time I heard him call him Darkwing.
Yeah, like it's always DW.
Yeah. And just like Gosalyn, she hardly ever calls him Darkwing. She always refers to him as Dad.
Yeah,
Yeah, even when he's in the Darkwing suit, she still calls him Dad.
but then we get a flashback back to what Darkwing and Gosalyn have been up to.
Yeah, and then she keeps telling him about books and computer. Um, and then he says like, well, there's a bounty abound, books and bites, a bookstore. And then she refers to him. He never has money. He usually just goes to the library.
So then Darkwing thinks maybe a computer store. Perhaps he's found shelter in a store where shiny silicon chip sentinels stand by. If he made a computer store, he'd be much more likely to use the computers at the library.
Which she just
And
said.
lest, yep. And lest we forget, there's one place where both these things can be found at no charge. The library. The library.
Oh man, but he wants the credit for thinking of it, even though she thought of it first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "Don't you think I've already looked there before? I came home this afternoon." And
Yep.
he
So
said,
quick
Gosling, you're smart, but Helder's smart too. A bit strange. I think we should check it again. So they
yep. So
go
quick
straight to the
rat
library.
catch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Quick rat catch a ride later, and we're there. Of
Yeah,
course, Darkwing's a little disappointed to find that it's actually still open.
yeah.
Imagine picking the lock, sneaking in, lurking between the shelves, obscured by shadow.
Yep. And then he has a metal detector he pulls out, uh, and it makes a noise, and he says it's a funny looking pendant or something. That's the part I didn't understand right here. What's going on with this?
That Darkwing's looking for the funny little looking pendant that Helder wears around his neck.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, his metal detector kind of resembles a PKE meter crossed with a ghost trap from Ghostbusters.
it sure does.
Also, there's a little bit of a running joke from here to the end of the librarian keeping shushing people.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yep. And then he found him.
Yep.
He said it's Helder, and she's like, "What? But how?"
We knew Helder didn't want to be found and that he hadn't left St. Canard. Metal pendant, loved the library. I put two and two together. He tried to run away, but I still found him. Despite the invisibility, which I'll admit was a surprise. The pendant's doing, I presume.
And then she says, "What do you mean? He hadn't left Saint Canard. We didn't know any such thing. You assumed it without
Well,
any evidence
I
at all." All right, go ahead, Stan.
yeah, so they they give Helder a glass of water and tell him that they'll figure things out. And
Mm-hmm.
then we rejoin the Justice Ducks where we left them.
Yep. And then Bex and what's the other one's name? It was Bex and something.
Bricks.
Bricks, yeah. They teleport once they hear the Justice Ducks because Gizmo Duck had talked to Darkwing, and he said Darkwing had figured out that they were he was at the library, so they teleport to the library. Bex and Bricks they teleport, and the rest of the
Yep,
Justice Ducks go out the wall. That part I didn't understand. Like, why did they have to break the wall down?
they didn't.
Oh, that was
If
the
you
hole
look,
already there.
yep, from
Plus
when
the
Stegmutt broke in.
Okay, and they go all say it at the same time to the library.
Yep. And then poor Helder has one of his limbs being pulled in each direction by Bricks, Bexx, Gosalyn, and Darkwing.
Yep. Helios Delta is ours. We have all the paperwork. And then we get into
Darkwing Duck won't be handing kids over to a pair of suspicious creeps like you anytime soon.
yeah, and then the Tunya blows on that horn,
Yep.
and everybody goes flying back a little bit.
And then I believe we're meant to infer that the person who's screaming what's going on here is actually the librarian who's been shushing everyone because the panel right before there's another shush.
Where's that at?
The right the panel right below where Neptunia blows the horn, the person who's going, all right, what the heck is going on
Oh,
here?
I didn't even realize that. Oh, good catch, Stan. Good
Yeah,
catch.
because I think that's why we kept getting the little shush things because it's meant, to build up to her screaming, okay, why is everybody making all this noise?
Oh, good catch, Stan. Oh man, good one. I missed that one. Good catch. All right, and then Bricks and Bex they go ahead and reveal what's going on. That they work for
Yep.
Zelda, and she's the richest woman in the universe.
And right above that is where they reveal that Bricks and Bryx are clones.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bricks says, I am Bricks, and this is my clone sister, Bex.
Yep. And then we get the little backstory of Helder and his mom, Zelda. She was cruel. She treated her employees really bad. She wanted Helder to inherit everything and to treat the employees the same way, but he
Yep.
wouldn't do it. I'm trying to skip it without us reading all this, Then, and then like she took him to a counselor, and he said there's nothing wrong with the boy. He's just decent and kind. And he starts researching places that are intelligent and life, and he found Earth in there. And that's where he decides he wants to go, and he makes friends in peace. And he takes the pendant in case his mother tries to drag him home. He got something to bargain with.
Yep. Also, Mona Lisa, three eyed alien Mona Lisa in that picture.
Yep. All right. So now we're back in present time.
Yep. So Goslin asks Helder if he's actually from outer space, and Helder's like, Helder is not an Earth child. This is correct. Does this mean you do not like Helder anymore?
Still third person. Yeah,
Yep.
and
And
then
Gauze asks if they have to hand him over, and Darkwing's like, it's complicated, Gauze. If Helder's mother was harming him, we'd fight tooth and nail to keep him here.
now we get into all the laws and stuff of like U.S. laws of child and stuff,
Yeah.
minors and stuff. But then is this when they find out that he's really an adult in his planet? No.
The the next two panels, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're preparing to take him back to the mothership. Our apologies, but as he himself has explained, Helios is not an Earth child. He doesn't belong here, even if he thinks he does. And Gosalyn's like, wait, not an Earth child. Does that mean you're not from Earth or you're not a both? Helder has not legally been a child for nearly a year, according to the laws of Helder's planet. Helder is overdue a growth spurt.
Still
So
in third
yeah, he's
person.
not a child,
Yeah, he's
at
considered
least
an
by
adult.
his planet's
Yeah.
laws.
And then Gosling gets all excited, said, "Hey, did you hear Helder's an adult? He can live here with us, or he can live where he likes." I'm sorry.
Yeah.
hmm And then Bryx, I think, or God, I keep forgetting their names, man.
Bryx and Bexx.
Bexx. I don't know which one's which, man. But he says, like, let's not be hasty. Violence is the last resort of a scoundrel, after all. So this is kind of where they like compromised. Like he just wants the pendant, and they don't have to bring Helder back.
Yep.
Yep. And then Stegmutt tells the new friends, "Hooray!"
Keep Helios, but call off the Raisin Man.
So Helder is left to get on with the life he really wants. Yep.
Goodbye, new friends. I'll keep some raisins in my pocket where they'll be nice and warm.
hmm Yep. And then
And
Helder. Oh, go ahead, Sam.
I was going to say, apparently, the pendant, in addition to making someone invisible, it made them undetectable to most instruments, even magic.
hmm So then Helder mentions mother will make a lot of money manufacturing those pendants. Helder hopes it will make her happy. Still third person.
Yeah. So Gosalyn asks if she'll still come to school, if they're still going to be friends. Helder will need to return home eventually, but still, Helder wants to learn more about Earth. Education can fix that. And Helder thinks your schools are a good place for a 12-year-old.
Gosalyn finds out she's like, "You're 12," and he says, "Nearly 13. What an age do you become a legal adult on your planet?" And then
Oh,
the next thing
Helder.
she wants to do is she wants to work on him with that third person stuff.
Yep. The
I,
first lesson will be first person pronouns. Helder does not understand. I don't understand. You do not understand either? Then how will you teach Helder? How will you teach me? I thought you were teaching me. There, look, you did it. You got it right. And we end on the librarian finally at her breaking point.
shut up.
Yep.
All right, and that's the end of Justice Ducks number 4. All right, Stan, what did you think about it? You want to score it, or you want to kind of talk about it a little bit?
Uh, we can score it.
All right.
I personally, I rather enjoyed this one. I'll say right now, I like it the best of the Justice Ducks issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's not without its problems, of course, but I would give this one a solid 4 myself.
4. Wow.
It
Oh,
has some
wow.
decent writing, some pretty good jokes. Some things definitely drag it down. Like I think it would have been higher if it hadn't had more aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another thing that I felt brought it down a bit, but I'm not going to mention it here just because I know that's part of your little rant.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go 2.5. It's okay. It's readable, but it's not one that I'm gonna pick up and read ever again. Probably. It's not a bad story. it flowed pretty good. It gave you some backstory from time to time, which is normal. I think so. I think it's decently written. What I don't like about it, Stan, is one, I'm getting tired of this alien stuff with Justice Ducks. I'm getting really, really tired of it. And then, like, I also felt, Stan, what is the purpose of all the Justice Ducks?
That was the other thing I was alluding to that brought mine down a little bit because it really doesn't feel like something they needed to be there for. It is
No.
something that Darkwing and Morgana and Gosalyn and probably Launchpad could have handled on their own. We
Yeah,
didn't need Stegmutt, Morgana, or Neptunia or Gizmo Duck for this one.
yeah. I just didn't understand, like, what was the need of all that. The threat wasn't even that bad. And you had two aliens coming in there, and they were trying to find Helder. Um, it just and to me they weren't even villains. I don't even want to rate them as villains because they were like once you find out what they were doing, they're not really villains.
True, though, we will rate them as villains.
Oh, you will? I'm not going to rate them.
I will, but you'll be very surprised at my score.
Okay, go ahead and rate them then.
I'm giving them a -1.
-1.
It's probably, is that the first negative score we've ever given or no?
I It might be. I'm not sure. I have to. Man, it's been
Like,
so long.
because they really barely count as villains. Like, they're antagonists for sure, but they're not really doing evil things. They're just
No.
trying to bring this kid back to his mother. And it
Hmm.
turns out all she actually wants is the damn pendant anyway. So,
Yeah, she didn't even want her
like,
kid back. Yeah.
yeah, so they they rate lower than any other villain I think we've ever had. Like even the worst of the worst when it comes to other villains like Trench Rot or Ample Grime,
Hmm.
at least they're villains. They're doing villainous things.
Hmm. I don't know, man. Like, I just like when they first jumped in, I felt the villain vibe with them, but as the story went along, and like once you find out like they were looking for Helder because of his mom, that's where it ended for me. Okay, they're no longer villains. They're trying to find this person for the mom, regardless if she's evil or what. Their intent
Yeah.
is not evil, so that's why I just don't want to rate them because to me there was no point. They weren't evil.
Yeah.
All right. So you said this is your favorite one of the Justice Ducks?
Yep. Which means it's all downhill from here.
And there's one left, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, the way you're looking right now, they can't see you, but I can see you, man. You making this sound like this is gonna be DW number 10 all over again. I have not
I
read it yet.
think it is. I don't remember for sure because I haven't read it since I first read it. I'm kind
Hmm.
of dreading revisiting it.
Okay. All right, so we got one more in the Justice Ducks, and we'll wrap it up. Stan, man, you got anything you want to shout out, or anything you want people to know about what you got going on?
Well, in terms of shout outs, I do want to give a shout out to our friend and co founder of the St. Kennard Files, Mike Russo, on his new job.
Hey, congratulations, Mike. All
And
right.
that's pretty much all I've got.
All right. Well, all I got going on, guys, is I got several cons coming up. For those of you who are in California, if you're happen to be near Downey, California, which is like near LAX, I will be there on April 12th. I will be there with the GTA guys, Young Melee. He's the voice of CJ from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and I will be there with Solo, who is the voice of Franklin in GTA 5. So if you
Cool.
guys are in the GTA, you can come check them out next month. I will be in the LA area hanging out with them on April 12th in Downey, California at a store called OG Collectibles. All right. That's all I got right now, Stan, man. You know, any particular person besides Mike you want to shout out?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
All right. Did you ever get any of those NFT DW pops?
Unfortunately, no.
No, you still haven't got one?
Not yet. I
Okay.
will eventually. I'll start with Quacker Jack. Then if I can find a decent enough deal, I'll get a liquidator.
That one's gonna be tough, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
At least Quacker Jack's still in the $60 to $70 range, so he's still what I would deem affordable.
Okay. Yeah, Quacker Jack is definitely affordable. I think Don Carnage is affordable too. That was one I wanted because Jim Cummings.
Yeah.
But I didn't care about Fat Cat. I did not care about that one at all.
Even though that's also Jim Cummings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, well, Stan, that's all I got, man. Hopefully, you already know about this news, but I got some news with Darkwing stuff. I would love to reveal, but I can't reveal it yet.
Well, hopefully it will work out for you.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Darkwing Up podcast. I'm sorry I'm a little rusty. I just don't do this much anymore. But we hope you guys are enjoying our Justice Ducks review. We got one left, and we do promise we will get this one out quicker than what we've been doing at the pace. I did tell Stan.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I did tell Stan I would finish the Justice Duck series with him, so I'm gonna keep my word to that.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and remember to stay dangerous.
Stay dangerous. I'm gonna go see if I have some raisins nearby to keep the aliens at bay.
All right, you do that. All right, Stan. It's all right, everybody. Y'all have a good night.